Hi guys, it's Maria, and today we're going to be talking about plant protein. So a question that I get a lot as a vegan is, where do you get your protein? Isn't it impossible to get enough protein without milk, eggs, cheese, dairy, all of those animal products? And the truth is, there's protein in almost every single food. And actually, plant protein is a better source than animal protein for your body. This video isn't going to be about why plant protein is better than animal protein, but if you're curious, there are a lot of studies out there that show that there's relationships between eating animal protein and increased risk of cancer, osteoporosis, diabetes, like a whole ton of health issues. But in this video, I thought I'd share 10 different protein sources that I incorporate into my diet almost every single day and that you guys can too. So firstly, how much protein do we actually need? A lot of people think that we need like hundreds and hundreds of grams of protein every single day, and that's not really true unless you're trying to build muscle, you're a bodybuilder, stuff like that. It's something that the animal protein companies really push on us because it helps sell their product and make us feel like we need it. If you're just like an everyday person living life, you only need like 50, 60, 70 grams of protein a day, if that. The US Dietary Guidelines actually has a formula that you can use to calculate the minimum amount of protein that you should be getting every day. So what you do is you take your weight in pounds, so I'll put my weight on the screen, then you divide that number by 2.2 to get your weight in kilograms, then we multiply that number by 0.8. And that's how many grams of protein you should be getting every day, minimum, so more is fine. As you can see, it says that I need a minimum of 40.7 grams of protein every day. I honestly get about double that just because getting protein is actually really easy, and I do work out a bit, so I'm trying to put on a bit of muscle. But yeah, you don't need like whey protein, egg whites, chicken breasts, all that stuff to gain muscle. There's tons of vegan bodybuilders out there, I'll put a couple on the screen, that do it with just plants. Now let's go through the 10 sources of protein that I use every single day. First one I'm going to talk about is tofu and tempeh. And this is something that I 100% eat every single day. Both are made from edamame beans. Tofu is made from the curdling of those beans, and then tempeh is the fermented beans being pressed together to make kind of like a brick. 100 grams of either of these is 10 to 20 grams of protein, which is huge. It's so easy to add it to your meals. You can bake it, you can fry it, you can marinate it to give it like different flavors, because otherwise it doesn't really have much of a taste. Also, both of these are considered a whole source of protein. They have amino acids in them, iron, calcium, tons of good stuff. My favorite way to eat tofu is actually scrambling it, and it's really good. You should look up how to make it. It reminds me so much of scrambled eggs, and it's a great breakfast option. Next thing we're going to talk about is nuts and seeds. I love these. Even though they're so tiny, they have so much nutrients in them, and you should definitely be incorporating them into your diet. A few of my favorites are almonds, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds. And the nice thing is all these do have protein in them. 12 almonds has about 3 grams of protein. A tablespoon of peanut butter has about 4 grams of protein. Chia seeds are something that I use a lot. They're little seeds derived from the Salvia hispanica plant. I know it's a fancy name. And they're full of healthy omega fatty acids and antioxidants. And just 2 tablespoons, there's about 3 grams of protein. It's something that you can really easily add on top of your oatmeal and smoothies. You can also use it in baking. You can make a chia egg. You should definitely check that out. Next is hemp seeds. In 1 ounce, there's 10 grams of easy digestible and complete protein. Again, just like chia seeds, super easy to add to your foods. Next is pumpkin seeds. In 2 tablespoons, so an ounce, there's about 5 grams of protein. Something really good that I've tried recently is pumpkin seed butter, and it's just like with nuts, where they blend it up to make the butter. And in 1 tablespoon of that, there's 5 grams of protein. All of these are super healthy sources of fat, which helps keep you satiated. Next, we're going to talk about quinoa. This grain has a lot more protein than other grains. There's about 8 or 9 grams of protein in 1 cup of cooked quinoa. This is something that you can meal prep ahead and just keep in your fridge and add it to salads, just as like a little side on your meal. Another interesting fact about quinoa is you can buy quinoa flour, which you can use instead of traditional flour in like pancakes, baked goods, bread, all that stuff, and it actually tastes really good. Next is sprouted bread and just bread in general. What makes sprouted bread different is that when you sprout grains, it increases the amino acid content and also the amount of nutrients that our body can actually absorb from the grains. For example, 2 slices of Ezekiel bread has 8 grams of protein in it, But all bread does have protein in it. You don't have to buy like Ezekiel special stuff. But I do recommend like sprouted if you can, or even just whole grain, multigrain, that kind of stuff, in order to get like the most nutrients possible. Most slices of bread do have a few grams of protein in them, if not more. Okay, next is soy milk. A lot of people do prefer like cashew milk, almond milk, coconut milk. Those all taste great to me, but I think soy milk tastes just as good, and it has so much more protein in it. The brand that I buy is Silk, unsweetened organic. And in 1 cup of that, there's 8 grams of protein. So it's really easy to add to smoothies, sauces, cook my oatmeal in to add like a boost of protein. Next thing is beans, lentils, and legumes. It's recommended that you actually get like a cup of beans every single day just because they are so good for you. They're so filling and they're just full of fiber and nutrients. In 1 cup of lentils, there's 18 grams of protein. In 1 cup of chickpeas, there's 15 grams of protein. In a cup of black beans, there's 16 grams of protein. For all beans, it's kind of the same, give or take a few grams of protein. You can add them on salads, make bean burgers out of them. I like roasting chickpeas. Another bean is the edamame bean, like I mentioned before. In a cup of shelled edamame beans, there's about 22 grams of protein. Also, there's a lot of pastas now that are made with chickpeas or lentils, black beans, stuff like that, and they're super high in protein and good for you. So that's definitely something you can check out as well. Next is vegetables. What people think vegans only eat. The great difference between animal protein sources and plant protein sources is that the plant protein sources come with all this extra stuff like fiber, different nutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, all this stuff, and none of the cholesterol. I try super hard to get like 6 or 7 servings of vegetables every single day just by having salads or adding a handful of spinach into my smoothie. Also, for most veggies, the protein content's about the same. A cup of cauliflower has about 2 grams of protein. A cup of broccoli has about 3 grams of protein. A cup of spinach has about 2 grams of protein. Half an avocado has about 2 grams of protein. Mushrooms have 4 grams of protein in a cup. The good one is green peas. There's about 8 grams of protein in just a cup of those. And it's also important to remember that although it sounds like, oh, there's only 2 grams of protein in it, like vegetables are high volume foods, so you can eat a lot of them and you really should. And also a helpful tip is having them pre-cut in your fridge or even pre-roasted. It'll keep you inclined to eat them because they're already prepared. There's no excuses. Next one is oats. I love oats. I have oatmeal almost every single morning. If it's a busy day, I have overnight oats. If I'm just home on the weekend, I have warm oats from the microwave. Like, it's such a good breakfast because oats are a complex carb, so it slowly releases energy over time instead of just having like a sugar burst. In half a cup of dry oats, there's about 6 grams of protein, which is awesome. And you can also do so much with them. You can blend them yourself to make a fine flour and you can bake with it. You can use it in veggie burger patties to keep it all together. You can make energy bites or energy bars out of them. They're amazing and I go through a ton of them. Next thing is nutritional yeast. A lot of people are like, what the heck is that? It's a deactivated yeast and it comes like as a yellow orangey flake. And that's what makes it so easy to add into your meals. It has like a cheesy, nutty taste. So I always use it to make cheese sauces. I sprinkle it on almost every single dinner I have. Like, it's really good on pasta because it's kind of like a Parmesan cheese in that way. It's a complete protein, has iron in it, it's gluten-free, and it's also a source of B12 and other B vitamins. In 2 tablespoons of it, there's 3 grams of protein. And like I said, it's really easy to just sprinkle on things and add like a little boost of protein. Plus, it tastes like cheese, and who doesn't like that? The last one I'm going to talk about is protein powder. And I know there's some people that don't believe in it, but I think if you buy one that doesn't have added sugar, things like that, it's harmless. It does vary brand to brand. The one that I buy has 30 grams of protein in 1 scoop. So when I use it, I only use half a scoop because I can't afford that. And also, I do like to rely on whole foods to get my protein from, but I do like just having that little boost. I normally just add it to my oatmeal every single morning. Also, the one that I buy is it's like $20, so it's not even that much. But there are some brands that are pricier, like Vega or Sun Warrior. I've tried all those. They are really good, but I think my favorite is the one that I'm using. And they have really cool flavors too, like I have a cookies and cream one, there's vanilla, chocolate, all this good stuff. Okay, so those are my top 10 protein sources. Obviously there's more. That just goes to show that you can get plant-based protein from almost anywhere, any plant-based source. Like for example, there's mock meats, right? I try to eat those in moderation because they are so processed, but the reason they are so high in protein also is from soy, which I did talk about a lot. Also, a lot of people I know, they eat rice, and a cup of cooked rice, there's about like 7 grams of protein, I believe. That's just not something I eat. Anyways, veganism is not restricting, it's actually liberating. I love this diet. I feel the best I've ever felt. I'm definitely not deficient in anything. There's so many different options. You're never gonna get bored of what you eat. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or just comment below. Also, I just started an Instagram page recently where I post my meals and try to make them look pretty and stuff like that. So if you need some meal inspiration, feel free to follow me on there. All my social media will just be down below. I do appreciate a thumbs up if this video helped you, and if you do want to see more content from me, just remember to subscribe. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!